Our top story tonight, the U.S. and Israel are intensifying attacks on Iran a week into the conflict. With no clear end in sight, lawmakers are sounding the alarm over how much this military mission could cost U.S. taxpayers. WSAV's Margaret Chadbourne now with more from Capitol Hill.
The Pentagon isn't releasing a lot of details about what it's actually spending, but some lawmakers are estimating it's costing about $1 billion a day, maybe even more.
It is going to hit people's pocketbooks.
Lawmakers on Capitol Hill are preparing to see a substantial price tag for the war in Iran.
When you have a kinetic conflict like this, whether you want to call it a war or not, we are putting energy, resources, money into this. It is going to take a little bit of sacrifice on the part of Americans.
Missouri Republican Mark Alford, who sits on the Congressional Spending Committee, is clear the military mission will come at a cost for U.S. taxpayers. Both parties are hearing estimates that the Defense Department is spending as much as $2 billion a day. And the White House is preparing to ask Congress for a $50 billion Pentagon funding package known as a supplemental request.
Before we even get to the consideration of a supplemental request, let's have the debate about how taxpayer dollars are being wasted right now. Billions spent to bomb the Middle East.
Most Democrats oppose a multi-billion-dollar military infusion, and it will kick off a heated debate. The Trump administration is downplaying concerns about U.S. weapon supplies and the associated costs of war.
We've got no shortage of munitions. Our stockpiles of defensive and offensive weapons allow us to sustain this campaign as long as we need to.
The final price tag for the war will depend on how long it lasts. Right now, the president says the military operation is far ahead of schedule. Reporting in Washington, Margaret Chadbourne.
Turning now to a developing story, the Savannah Police Department has made an arrest in connection to a shooting on Damascus Road, as investigators also look into a separate overnight shooting downtown. Officers arrested 44-year-old Brian Williams following a shooting yesterday morning in the 6000 block of Damascus Road. It happened around 6:20 a.m. when one man was found inside a home with a serious gunshot wound. Williams now faces charges including aggravated assault, possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony, cruelty to children, and false imprisonment. Meanwhile, police are also investigating a separate shooting in the 100 block of Congress Street. Officers were sent to the area around 2:30 a.m. this morning after reports of a fight. You're looking at video from the scene at around 6:30 a.m. as they arrived, and they heard gunshots and found damage to nearby buildings and an unoccupied car. A short time later, a man showed up at the hospital with a gunshot wound to his arm. Police say his injury is not life-threatening. Now, both of these incidents are still under investigation. Anyone with information is asked to call Crime Stoppers at 912-234-2020. New tonight, parents at Islands High School are being notified about an incident involving a teacher and a message written on a classroom whiteboard. Administrators at Islands High School say a teacher posted a message on a classroom whiteboard that read, "Young ladies must be seen and not heard." The school says the comment was meant to address talking in the classroom, but they understand it may have been upsetting to students. School officials say the language is not condoned and does not reflect the school's expectations for staff. Administrators say the incident is being taken seriously and is now being addressed directly with the instructor. A Tybee Island Police Department is responding to rumors spreading online about a possible child trafficking incident on North Beach. Police say they received a call just before 3:30 p.m. Sunday about 4 men who were seen walking near a mother and her 2 young children on North Beach. The caller told officers the men appeared to be following them and holding up their cell phones as if taking photos or video. The woman later left the area with friends and contacted police to report the incident. Authorities say despite rumors, no children were grabbed and no one called 911 during the incident. Professional wrestling and community service came together in Bullitt County. American Premier Wrestling hosting a special event called Smackdown Hunger, raising money to help local families facing food insecurity. WSAV's Evan Smoke shows us now how the night brought fans and wrestlers together for a good cause.
Proceeds from Friday's Smackdown Hunger event will benefit Feed the Boro, a local nonprofit that hosts monthly food drives to support people experiencing food insecurity. American Premier Wrestling Commissioner T tells WSAV helping others is at the core of APW's mission.
We are purpose-driven. Our wrestling promotion operates off of working for charities and fundraisers. We always like to give back to the community, so if it's anything like that, we're always willing to help. When Don Poe approached me about this show and partnering with Feed the Boro for the first time, I knew that we had to make this really big.
The commissioner says some fans in the stands might recognize a few of the names who wrestled for the cause.
This show, we actually have Doc Gallows, Carl Anderson, which a lot of people have seen from TNA, WWE, and etc., New Japan. They're also having some other guests as well.
One of the wrestlers was Cameron Cash. Cash got her start wrestling in the Statesboro area and was defending her women's champion title for the second time Friday.
Most people, they see a show and, some people might not even really know what pro wrestling's about, but like you said, it's an honor to be able to not only represent APW tonight in the women's division, but to do it for a good cause and to know that we're benefiting the community in the process.
Feed the Boro hoped to raise between $10,000 and $15,000. Money they say will go back into the community. Reporting in Bullitt County, Evan Smoke, WSAV News 3. On your side.
New tonight, leaders and supporters from across the coastal empire came together tonight to support heart health and life-saving research. The annual Southern Coast Heart Ball brought the community to the Savannah Convention Center, all to raise money for the American Heart Association. The Heart Ball is the culmination of the year-long Heart of the Southern Coast campaign, celebrating local volunteers, survivors, and community leaders working to fight heart disease and stroke. The evening included a cocktail reception, dinner, and a program honoring several community members for their work supporting heart health. Organizers say the money raised helps fund critical research, advocacy, and programs.
The funding raised here tonight goes again to fight our number 1 and number 4 killers through research and through educational programs like teaching people hands-only CPR. We are truly driven by our volunteers, and they are why we are able to do so many amazing things.
WSAV is proud to be a media sponsor, and our Ben Singer is serving as Master of Ceremonies. WSAV's Andrew Davis also helped run the auction. The countdown to St. Patrick's Day is officially underway in Savannah. Crowds gathered at the iconic Forsyth Park fountain today for the annual greening, a tradition that signals the start of the city's celebrations. Locals and visitors packed the park to watch the water turn green, marking one of the first major events leading up to Savannah's St. Patrick's Day festivities. This year's event also carried extra meaning. It was the first greening since the fountain reopened following a restoration project. For many in the crowd, the moment makes one thing clear: St. Patrick's Day celebrations start right here in Savannah.
And have a new best friend on every time you turn around, People talk to each other. It's a very friendly event.
It is. We're called the hostess city for a reason. Savannah really does a fantastic job just welcoming everybody.
There are so many St. Patrick's Day events in the days and weeks to come. For a full rundown of festivities across our area, head to WSAV.com/St. Pat's.